How are you? Hello. We'll go ahead and get started for our Tuesday talk. We have lots of information to go over. If you didn't know, we have a little bit of some inclement weather coming, so we wanted to take an opportunity and make sure we discuss that at depth to put you at ease, let you know what we've done and what we need you to do. So we'll have a couple announcements. I believe Miss Andrea has some. I have food and beverage in here to clarify a couple things scheduled and what dining will look like. And I have plant ops here for any questions. Otherwise, we'll go over what the plan and what the execution will look like over the next 48 to 72 hours. So we'll start with your announcement and then we'll roll into some serious business.
All right.
Thank you, everybody. I just want to remind you that as we're getting ready for whatever's going to happen, the staff is working hard, getting us ready. They're moving furniture, they're moving water around, they're worrying about our food, they're doing all that stuff. So it's a good time to remember them. It's a good time to write your check to the employee gift fund, because we need it. But it's a reminder that they work hard for us, so it's time for us to do something nice for them, okay?
Let's give them a hand.
That's right. Thank you very much. I can certainly support that message. So I wanted to give food and beverage an opportunity real quick so they can get back to work to go over what meals will look like. We first and foremost will request your grace and patience and flexibility, right? This is a store. We do not have all the answers. So we are capable of pivoting and still making sure that you're well taken care of. So as of now, tentatively, he's going to outline what dining services will look like. It may and can change. Disclaimer. Thank you.
Should I stand in front of this? It looks more professional. Good morning, everybody. How we doing? Good, good. I just have a couple notes here that I wanted to share with you. As you know, we've all been through this before, and the whole team many times, as you know, and we will be here throughout the entire storm. I packed up all my stuff this morning, and my daughter asked me where I'm going. Try to explain that one to a 7-year-old. But anyway, so starting tomorrow, we will have coffee at the host desk all day long, in the north and in the south. So just come down, second floor, and there'll be coffee available all day long, starting at 8 o'clock in the morning. Today, thank you, there you go. I knew that was going to be a question, so that's already out of the way. So check that off your list. Today, no matter where you're dining, whether it's a delivery, whether it's a pickup, whether it's the pub, whether it's the north dining room or the south dining room, you will be receiving a breakfast bag. So tomorrow morning you'll have something to snack on, some water. So just a little something for you in the morning. That's another thumbs up. Thank you very much, young man. The pub will be closed tomorrow for breakfast and lunch, and the north will also be closed for lunch. I just don't know what the weather's going to be like. I wish I would know, but I just want everybody to be safe. And my recommendation is, if you're a north dining room resident, you should stay there tonight, and same thing in the south. Do what you want, but it's just my recommendation. I know nothing more than you do. And then if everything goes right, tomorrow night we should be back open in the pub. We should be back open in the north for dinner, and for dinner in the south. That's the plan. That's the goal. I just want everyone to be safe. That's the most important thing. But I don't want to have things change. I want to try to keep going, with the program. Also, the Black Cat dinner tonight in the Regency room is on. So if you're planning on attending it, we will see you there tonight. We'll also have wine available in the dining room tonight. It's a hurricane. Let's have a hurricane party, right? And one more side note, we do have sweet potatoes now in the pub. We're going to have it on the same rotation we do in the dining rooms. Mary Ellen, you have to give me a hug later, okay? And that's all I got, but we will be here for you. Don't worry, trust me, we'll take care of everything for you. No one will go hungry. Thank you, have a great night. Oh, here's the question.
Here's a question.
You didn't mention anything about lunch tomorrow. Do we need to get food in for our lunch?
It's closed, so you'll still have your one meal at night.
We can't hear the questions.
The question was about the pub being closed for lunch tomorrow, and yes, it is closed. And in the dining room.
No lunch.
No lunch.
No lunch.
But
So we
we-
need to get our own lunch stuff.
Yes,
Thank you.
you're welcome. I guess I
There's
answered.
no takeout.
No takeout. We're just gonna prepare for, you know, God forbid anything happens, if God forbid we had to go to deliveries, I just wanna let everyone know in advance, no surprises, but, you know, hopefully at dinner time, we'll be back ready to rock and roll.
Ricky,
Yes, sir.
please repeat the hours that the dining rooms are open and closed for today and tomorrow.
So today we're open, ready to go. Tomorrow, we're closed for breakfast, lunch, in the pub and in the north. So at dinner time tomorrow, it's the pub and the north dining room and the south dining room.
Okay, good.
We'll get communication out.
Yep, absolutely. We'll put it on touchdown, flyers, whatever we have to do. What's that? Okay. Thank you, folks.
So he'll get that communication out. The biggest issue, of course, as we are concerned, is the storm will be hitting in the middle of the night, early morning, and wind will be a factor. So we do not want you walking to the gastropub for meals if the winds are 75 plus miles per hour. So that's the purpose for that, and he'll get that communication out. There is an issue with Spectrum. 732 is down, so we will be communicating via other outlets, but 732 is down. We are aware, Darwin is working with Spectrum, and we are trying to get that resolved. So don't ask what else can happen in my first 8 months here, Miss Judy. Don't test the gods like that. So any other announcements from residents before we get to the nitty-gritty of the next 48 hours? You have an announcement? Sam's coming.
We've never been hungry at Regency.
Can't hear you.
I agree. Miss Eileen said they've never been hungry at Regency, and I can assure you we won't start now.
Hi, I just want to remind people that we are having a book swap, 28th of September. And if you would bring your...
Maybe I didn't do it right, huh?
Okay. I just want to remind everybody about the book swap on the 28th of September. If you would bring your books down to the front lobby of the north building and the south building, there's a receptacle there to take the books. And we will be running that at the end of, as I said, the 28th, and the hours will be we'll be notified about the hours. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other announcements before we get started? Yes, Roger.
I just want to make an observation about the failure we had the other night.
Yes, sir. We'll get to that.
No, well, you will? 'Cause
I will.
I wanted you to know that somebody lost 7 pounds with all their running around they did.
Oh, dear.
Where did that?
Oh, good.
She really.
Yeah, so just to touch on that, there was, let's be very clear, we cannot control Duke Energy. There is no controlling Duke Energy. There was a transformer issue. One of the legs went out. A generator is a piece of machine. It's not smart enough to determine 1 leg, 2 leg, or 3 legs. So 1 leg of the generator, the transformer went out, and therefore the generator did not kick on because it still sensed power from those other legs. So that is usually a very, very minimal incident. We don't usually have transformers blow. That is completely beyond our control. We are very thankful for our team and Betsy. We have policies and processes in place for situations just like that, and we implemented and executed accordingly. The generator for an not evacuation, but a disaster as now is fully functioning. Okay? So that is the difference as to what happened. A transformer blew 1 of the legs, not all 3, and it wasn't due to a full power outage. So to get into the next preparation for the next 48 to 72 hours, I just want to kind of go over a couple of things. So this is from the National Hurricane page. This is the storm right there. As you can see, the beautiful purple and red is right around our area. That is predicting the winds at 75 to 80 miles per hour. So we are planning for high winds and possible evacuation of 5th floor in the event the winds get to be 75 miles per hour or more. So this was the information as of 1 a.m. today about the trajectory of the storm. This is the time, bless you. This is the time, if you see, Tuesday around 8 p.m., Wednesday 2 p.m., Tuesday 2 p.m., that is kind of the time frame of the tropical storm force winds and when they will occur. So it just gives us, again, that makes it a little unpredictable with meals, but we assure you, you will not go hungry. This is just another to kind of give you an idea. We've got, of course, that red is us right there, and you can see that M. That M stands for potential miles per hour of wind at 110. So if you see that large M right there over the red, you've got your H, your M, your H. You'll see right here, H 74 miles per hour, M greater than 110 miles per hour. So I'm not trying to scare you, but I want to be very clear on what can possibly go on, and that's what we are planning and according for. Just some key messages. Again, it is a life-threatening possible storm surge, not so much for us because of our location, but in other areas of Florida. The winds are going to be our biggest concern, staff not being able to make it here, and power outages for a long amount of time. It will be completely beyond our control on how long the power outages are on or off, and we will just weather the storm together. This is just another photo to kind of show you the cone of it coming our direction and how it hopefully shall turn. But again, we will be planning for the worst, hoping for the best. This is flash flooding in the areas. We are right about at a slight risk. Again, our location is not so much an issue, but we have staff that commute from all over this area, so that would be an issue that we have to be in front of, in which we are. Preparation communication thus far, we've put memos in your boxes yesterday. We've sent an email to your contact on file, as well as you, if you've given us your email address. We've placed the call them all. We are updating the Regency Oaks app in administrative communication because we know channel 732 is out. And of course, if the power goes out, we don't have channel 732 anyways. We did get our hurricane memo distributed in June, and we will be updating our website, regencyoaksseniorliving.com. At the very top, there's a little banner that says storm updates. Please let your families know about that as well, although I did yesterday when I sent them all emails, and that way they can check for updates. What we've done so far. So, we have fueled all of our generators with extra diesel. We have printed all of our necessary documents, resident rosters, med lists, treatment sheets. Those are more so pertinent for healthcare. We do have our generators in both buildings because it's not a transformer issue. All legs will be working. Our entire team has removed all patio furniture and tied it down. We have cleared the roof drains. We have deployed our evacu chairs. I have the locations of those. We do have our satellite phone on site. We have downloaded the Zello app for walkie-talkie communications between myself and my team and the directors. We have gas for all of our power equipment, chainsaws, etc. for fallen trees. We have 360 fire and flood on standby for post-disaster. We have initiated our phone charging stations. We have the locations for those for the team as well. General supplies have been stocked with sufficient levels of food, water, linens, fuel, hurricane supplies, and of course medications for our healthcare side. Our local vendors have been contacted for standby. Our emergency contacts have been updated in email. Again, if you gave me that information, they all got an email yesterday. Assign associates accommodations for stay. Ginger's been helping us with that. We have lots of our associates and their family that will be on site, of course, here specifically for you to take care of you and ensure we're all safe. So we have accommodations for them. We have assigned centralized location for our command center, our check-in center, where pets will be, etc. Our team has that information, not necessarily, some of it's not needed for the residents, but we'll get you what is needed. We've updated our website and our communication platforms. We have had our staff meeting, and now of course we're hosting our resident meeting. We have updated our associate assignments and locations and corridor captains. So every one of your hallways will have a corridor captain. In the event the power does go out, you will have a staff member nearby that will be going door to door checking on you. And of course, if meal deliveries have to be implemented, food and beverage team as well as us will execute that as well. We have gassed up all of our vehicles. Okay, so what we need all of you to do for us now. Plan to shelter in place unless you absolutely want to leave. We would suggest you do immediately. We are a shelter-in-place community. We are 85 feet above sea level, so storm surge is not a big concern, but the winds are our biggest concern. If you have those really nifty fans that are USB charged, any hearing aids, any lights, any cell phones, anything that needs to be charged, charge it now while we have juice. So please do get all of that plugged in and charged now. That way, in the event of a elongated power outage, you are ready to go. We do suggest, especially if you're on the 5th floor, pack a go bag now, because if the winds do get at 74 miles per hour, we will be moving you down, and it will not be optional, because at that point the roof shingles and parts of the roof can start to be damaged. So if you are on the 5th floor, we want you to make sure you've got all your items, your hearing aids, your glasses, your dentures, medicine, chargers, anything you're gonna possibly need, most certainly medications, in a bag or readily available so you can quickly move down. Again, if we get to that wind speed, which it looks like we will be implementing evacuation, and it will not be optional. So we just want to make sure you have all of those items ready to go and on hand. In the meantime, I know a lot of you have purchased fans, lanterns, flashlights, cell phone chargers, backup batteries, first aid kits, extra oxygen, water, non-perishable food, any toiletries, pet supplies, incontinence supplies, blankets, pillows, clothes, wallets, identification, and cash. Basically just anything you're going to need to weather out a storm without power. We have asked that you clear off the electronics from the lanai. It is most certainly your discretion for anything else, but we most certainly encourage the electronics to be removed from water. Water will get into the vinyl lanais at minimum. So we do have plans and processes in place, but we do need you to remove your items as they will be damaged. Please do ensure if you have your windows open, please do get those closed, whether they're vinyl or the actual lanai glass windows. Top off your gas, just as an extra precaution. Please do communicate, tune in to the communication platforms. We're going to be communicating via our website, via our Call Them All, via our Regency Oaks app under the administrative services portion. So please do tune into those. Of course, while we have power, we'll continue emails, we'll continue phone calls, and we don't have 732, so that will not be a resource, but of course tuning into the local news as well. Please do now call any of your friends or families if you need additional help preparing. Darwin and his team, as you see, have been inundated with locking things down, moving around generators, making sure supplies are where they need to be. Buddy up with your neighbors, call a friend, help each other. Let's all work together for any additional last minute items you might need. So just some of the ways we will be communicating during a power outage. Our community website, as we mentioned, I will be communicating with our regional sales strategist, Simi, so she updates our website accordingly. So please do let your families know as well. Again, I did send an email to them yesterday. But if they're wanting updates and they want to know you're safe, if the phones are down, we won't have a bunch of calls checking on you. So please do communicate to your families the various ways. Again, I mentioned I did send out an email to residents and family yesterday. We will be using the Regency Oaks app under administrative communication. We will have our team members on each corridor. And we do have an LCS hotline, and I put the number on all the information I sent out. They're in Iowa. They don't know a whole lot, but we will be communicating with them so they can give the bare basics. Yes, we're safe, etc. But there will be, they won't have a whole lot of information minute by minute. So it shouldn't be the first place you go, but it is an additional resource. What to expect? Be very clear. I'd like to be very transparent and manage your expectations. Power outages for a long time. If you have ambulatory issues, if you have health issues, this needs to be something that you are considering. There is nothing that we can do about some of the situations, so we need to make sure that you've got a plan for that. As I've mentioned, high winds. High winds are very possibly going to be a concern. So we will possibly be transferring residents from 5th floors down to lower floors. We have captains for that, and we have a process we're implementing for that, if and when that is necessary. Basic food, water, and coffee. The kitchen's going to do their best to maintain the menu. However, again, we don't know how long we will be without power, so I can assure you, you will not go hungry, and you will be safe, and we will get you taken care of. The main phones possibly can be down. So again, we will utilize those alternative communication methods. It will be very hot. If you did not purchase any of those lovely little chargeable fans, it will be hot. There's nothing we can do about that. It is hot and humid now. Hopefully, with all of the weather, it brings a little bit of reprieve, but without the power, the AC is not working and we will be warm. So we want to make sure that we hydrate. We will have water stations and all of those necessary items accessible. You might be sitting for long periods in the dark, whether it's in your apartment or in the corridors, based again on the wind miles per hour. So if you've got a nice little comfy chair, go ahead and push that out there now. We can't exactly be sure, but we'll communicate. Your floor captains will communicate in the event that the winds get too strong. Transportation, I don't think this would go without being said, but I will make sure to confirm. Transportation, activity, housekeeping services, and standard work orders are all canceled until further notice, so we can obviously cater and make sure the safety of our residents and our staff over the next few days is our first priority. Again, you will be uncomfortable, but you will be safe. We are a concrete community. That's one of the reasons we canceled the gastropub. Once the winds have picked up, we don't want you walking in between the buildings and in between the various venues. We do want you to kind of stay put, but you will be safe. Uncomfortable, but safe. Again, what you need to know, we are at 85 feet above sea level. We are in Zone D, a non-evacuation zone, so low concern for storm surge. We are a concrete structure, except for the roof. Again, 5th floor might have to transfer. We will communicate if that's the case. Please do not invite your friends, families, and any additional pets. We are not a designated evacuation shelter, and we need all of our resources and supplies for our team and our residents. We will, at some point, depending on the wind, instruct all residents to move to the hallways for safety from broken glass and flying projectiles during the eye of the storm. So again, we will communicate that with the corridor captains. What is on the emergency generator at Regency Oaks, the emergency lighting in the hallways, the lobby areas, the stairwell, dining rooms, and there's limited lighting on the building exterior. There is one elevator in each room on the generators, so I really ask you, please sit tight. If you do not need to be on a lower level and you cannot get up and down without an elevator, please do not come down to a lower level if you don't have to, because there's only one elevator and there's over 500 people, residents, etc. that are going to be here. So please, I've seen it plenty of times in the past. Everyone comes and hangs down in the lobby. and then they can't get back upstairs. We will have an elevator on the generator, but it is still just one. Our fire alarm panel is on the generator, our emergency call system, food service equipment in the kitchen, and then we do have a little bit of limited power at both desks. What is not on the generator? Anything in your apartments. So again, we should ask that you have at least one flashlight or battery-operated lantern with several batteries. We also suggest anything battery-powered or USB rechargeable. Please do not use candles. Please. When power fails, we do just suggest that you turn off or you disconnect all of those main, maybe your TV, just to avoid those surges, the power surges. We do again, of course, use your battery operated or USB lights. You can fill containers and bathtubs with water. We will have plenty of water, it's just an extra suggestion. And again, we have no control over Duke Energy, so call in the front desk or asking when's the power coming back on. We continue to monitor it. Duke Energy usually has a website that we review, but we just have an estimated time that they give us. So we can't control it. There's nothing we can do, but our goal is to make sure that you're all safe and as comfortable as possible. When the power does go out, please don't all call down to the front desk. We know the power's out. We don't need you to call and tell us. It will happen. It's just a matter of when and for how long. Special needs accommodations, those should have already been communicated. We did one of these about a month or so ago, and we asked that you reach out in the event that you had any particular special needs. In independent living, we are independent living residents. We do try to meet your needs for you to age in place as much as possible, but we do need to have these needs communicated so we could have a plan for them. Residents with oxygen should have portables charged. Regency Oaks is working with physicians to get orders to go to the health center. So if you are just severely dependent on oxygen, I would probably have in your mind to head to the health center sooner than later, just in the event, unless of course you have plenty of oxygen that you need to ride out the storm. 911 is obviously still going to be utilized. We of course, are not EMTs. We are here to take care of you, but if you do have a serious episode or something happens, 911 would be called. Of course, that's the last case scenario, but again, your safety is our priority. So that, of course, is an option. Last option, of course. Again, you might have to move to healthcare center sooner than later. If the winds get too strong, we don't want to wait till the last minute for that to be the case. So please, if you do have any concerns about your situation going into the next couple of days, please contact Christine. Kelly is actually in Iowa for a company conference, and Carol is out with some medical issues. So Christine is helping follow up with each of our residents with oxygen so we can make sure that your plan's in place. Again, another disclaimer, if you cannot get up or down the stairs, please stay on your floor unless advised otherwise. We do have evacuum chairs. They go down, they do not go up. The elevator should work, but again, in case something happens, we are not supposed to be carrying residents up the stairs. A little bit more, when the power fails for special needs, again, have your portable oxygen tank and extra batteries. Again, you would possibly be relocated to healthcare center. We do suggest, if you have not already, contacting your oxygen supplier immediately to get anything else you might need. This could possibly be during an extended period, so please do have a plan if you've spoken to your family about relocating if this goes on for days and days. Just a suggestion, we will continue meeting our residents' needs here, but if you do have long-term higher level than your typical, whether that be oxygen or CPAP, then we most certainly need to consider a more long-term plan. Have your medications, hearing aids, glasses, chargers, and phones. And again, a reminder, the generator operates one elevator. If you do leave just before returning, checking the hotline. Don't return to campus unless the hotline does indicate that it is safe to do so. Plan to leave as soon as possible. Contact your friend or your family. We are, of course, initiating our hurricane communication plan. Regular services are interrupted, as I just mentioned. We do ask that if you do plan to leave, you sign out with the front desk so we know that you've departed the community. And that we, of course, will be following any of the state and city observations and guidance from the mayor and the powers that be of the state. So other than that, any questions about the excitement we're going to have for the next couple of days?
Just one question for the 5th floor residents. If we have to go down to the 4th and we take our pillows and blankets, it's going to be anything to sit on, or?
So we will try our best to have chairs and whatnot, but we would most certainly suggest pillows and blankets, and we will put out chairs.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sure. And we do have, we are using them for staff, but we did purchase quite a few of the very small blow-up mattresses, but those are going to staff that are all staying the night. But of course, we can most certainly help with that.
Hello, is the rental generator for the south building big enough to operate the elevator?
Yes, the one elevator.
We didn't have that because of a spatial situation. You tried to explain about why didn't the elevator work then during this power outage?
So I covered that at the beginning of this meeting. That was very different from a planned hurricane. That was a power outage, a transformer that blew on Duke Energy's end. That is nothing we can plan for. It just happens, and it was just one leg of 3. So the generator did not kick on. In this instant, we would lose all power, therefore the generator would kick on.
We know for certain that the rental generator, if you will, operate one elevator. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say that I have one extra blow-up mattress if you need it.
Sure.
And the other thing is that I was thinking about transporting my stuff from 5th floor down, and those grocery carts are perfect.
Sure.
So maybe if you don't have one, you could get one from somebody else to load up your stuff and temporarily move out.
And we can try to have those on the 5th floor as well. Again, it really just would be a small bag. And it would just be until, you know, all of the strong winds passed.
I have a question about empty apartments. I know when I look out my window, I see 4th floor Savannah has the window up from vinyls. Have you checked in all of those empty apartments to make sure that the vinyls are all closed so the rain doesn't come in?
No, we're working on the furniture, but we'll work on that today. Make sure everything is closed.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I didn't understand her question, and I certainly didn't understand his answer.
So the question was, the empty apartments, are we addressing the windows that would be open? And he says, yes, they are going through and looking at those as well.
Apartment number R402, where we had the fire. I can see that apartment from my unit. And I don't know if it's been addressed or not, but there's no screening, no nothing. I mean, it's totally open onto there or not. And the door going into the house was open.
We'll check that.
I have one question or comment. I have an extra air mattress also, and I have a sleep sofa if somebody needs accommodations. I'm on the 4th floor.
Thank you for that. We'll take it. Thank you for that. Yes, Miss Judy.
Would everybody please use a microphone?
Here.
We can't. Would everybody please use a microphone? Bobby Belcher's one of them, and I have no idea what she said because we can't hear her.
She said our 402 has an open screen and door, so we're going to check that out. Any other questions? My team and I have a lot of work to do, and we want to get busy planning and prepping for you. Yes, ma'am.
I'm on the 5th floor, and if I need to evacuate, I'm on a walker. And I understand that I can get down, but I can't be on an air mat. I mean, I just can't get up. So, what is the plan for if you go to the lobby? Is there anything that would help with that, or do I expect to be sitting up the whole time?
You can't expect to be sitting up the whole time unless you want to provide yourself or borrow an air mattress, or we can discuss moving you into healthcare.
Okay.
You said we can use water to flush the toilet. Where do you pour the water? In the bowl or in the vacuum?
It goes in the
Bowl.
The toilet. No, to flush the toilet. Where do you put the water? In the bowl or in the tank?
Oh, when you're gonna flush the toilet, you probably put it directly to the toilet. Yeah.
To the bowl.
To the toilet bowl.
And you don't need much.
Just a little.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
We have an extra couch if anyone needs to sleep. And we also have one of those accordion beds.
All right. Okay.
So, if you
What's your
need to
apartment?
bring someone, 109.
Apartment 109.
And 109.
Okay, I'll share that.
And then there was other question I wanted to ask. We have a workplace, we have our own elevator, and there was a button in that elevator, so you got stuck, you could always get down.
Put the microphone close to your mouth.
Do we have that on these elevators?
There's a way that we're able to open it.
Yeah, so then people, if they would learn about it.
That bed is double. That is for 2 people.
Yeah, it's for 2 people.
What's the
So she said she has additional sleeping accommodations in A109 on the first floor. And she asked about the button in the elevator if you get stuck. We do have a way to open it. There is a button.
There is a phone, if you open the door in the south elevator, if you press that, that will call the front desk. The same thing in the north. And then you also have another button that it will sound an alarm. So we will know you got anyone in there.
I have a computer and my printer is on my lanai. Will there be somebody up there to disconnect them?
Yeah, we have a list in each front desk. We're not moving any furniture, just electronics. If you're on that list, we will be there today to help you move those items. Electronics only.
Ms. Elaine, you probably missed that memo yesterday. Did you call to ask them to do so? We'll do so. What's your apartment number again?
R210.
R210. We put that down. We'll come help you with that.
Right here.
Yes, Miss Mary.
Where do you want us to take the airbags?
You can bring them down to the front desk.
Okay.
You can bring them down to the front desk. Thank you. If you have any additional air mattresses or something like that, we'll take them at the front desk.
This is probably a stupid question, but I'm assuming we do not press our call button on Wednesday morning.
No. We'll be checking on you.
You can press it anyway.
Yes, Ms. Pam. We have a double sofa bed, an N407. N407 double sofa bed.
When will you notify the people on the 5th floor that they need to move down?
We will be watching the news. So, can we notify you? We'll be watching the news carefully. We have team members that have been assigned to watching the winds and the time frames. So we will communicate as soon as possible as we know. So we will have A and B teams overnight, and then we'll take turns sleeping, day shift, night shift, etc. So we will be watching and we'll communicate in the event that's required. Any other questions?
Just to reaffirm, tomorrow,
everything is canceled.
That's correct. Tomorrow, everything is canceled. The storm is supposed to hit middle of the morning, always is, right? 3 a.m., 2 a.m., 4 or 5 a.m. So we're continuing to monitor, but everything should get pretty yucky latter part of today, rolling into tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, hoping for resolution by tomorrow night, but knowing Duke Energy, possibly not. I didn't have these problems in Texas. Our electricity was always on. So that's a new one. That'll be fun. Any other questions? All right, guys, we appreciate you in advance. Please do your part. We're here to take care of you, and we'll get through this together. Thank you so much.